Mechanic Pete here. Labor Day. We're working on Russ's mom and dad's Jeep. Power steering pump's making a big whiny noise, so we've gone ahead and we took the serpentine belt loose with a 15mm down here on the tensioner. Goes clockwise. Loosen that up, take it off your alternator, tuck your belt away a little bit right here, and then your power steering pump's free to move away, like so. We got a 13mm. You can go through the power steering pump.
There we go.
You can kind of see it.
Yep.
So yeah, you can come through the power steering pump and you can get all your bolts loose. There's 3 bolts that hold it on here to the engine. We got a line up here. I think it's a 20mm. It's right there. I got my finger on it. There you can see it. I just saw it. There you go. Right down there. A little flare fitting. I don't have my flare wrenches, so didn't have that big of a metric either. So we're going to use a 13/16 and break that loose. There's one more line that's on the bottom of the power steering pump on the reservoir here, kind of down here. I'm touching it right there. It's on the bottom. It's got a little crimp clamp on it. So imagine when we get this off, we're going to have to put a hose clamp on it ourselves. So
Okay, I see it there.
we're going to disconnect the line down on the lower so we can drain the reservoir out into a pan. I'll show you how to do that now. We got a little spring clip up here. This one comes down from the reservoir. Have to adjust those a little tighter. Alright, gonna get under here. There we go. Squeeze it together and just kind of wiggle her down the line. Okay, here comes a little goo. There we go. It might be loose enough now to... If you got a little more time and don't mind making a little more mess, you can drain your radiator out. And you could take your upper hose off. And this is a little air bleed right here to bleed the air out of your Jeep's cooling. There we go. So now we're going to go through the pulley. The other one's down here, down below. You can kind of see where I'm going through, but it's easier to see from the very, very bottom. I mean, it's if you look at the front of the pulley here on this,
Got it.
you can see how I'm going through that hole, and it's down on the bottom. The bolt's kind of right down there. We got 2 hoses still. We got the long one there that we drained. This is the one I was talking about. We got this little clamp on it right here. I'm gonna see if I can get this up a little higher out of here so we can get a better picture in it.
Oh, good
A
idea.
little closer. There we go. You can kind of see the factory puts these on. And it's a little clamp where they pinch it here, and that's what's holding it on. So we'll cut this off, and then we'll put just a regular hose clamp on that, just like this guy, but a little smaller. Instead of cutting it, I'm just going to see if I can open it up a little bit. I'm just sticking a pick in there. Kind of work it back and forth a little bit. You can see how it's getting bigger. Down in there. Look at your side. You can see. There we go. Hose is all loose. Should just be able to pull right off. Boop. Looks like it's easier to go down with it.
All the way to the bottom.
Yep. So we're going to just drop it out the bottom here. Another little spring clamp, take that loose. Slide it off. Check your hoses, make sure you don't have any soft spots or big cuts on it. Buds in there. Just get a rag and we'll wipe that bad boy off. I just like to make sure they're clear. Yep. So now they press fit these this pulley on here. So you can kind of see it's got an Allen hex head right there. So we rented a puller, OEM puller installer kit to get this off. It kind of clips underneath that guy right there. We have two different pieces here. A little sleeve that holds your clamshells together. These get positioned like so. This guy, it's open. They kind of go like that. I might have to tap it a little bit to get it going in there. It's kind of tight, but once we get that on there, then this ring drops around it and pulls it off. But make sure you put your
Bolt in first.
yeah. It's got a round, kind of a round end on it, so that it doesn't go down in the hole. So it'll just kind of sit right there on it. And just kind of turn that.
Coming off? Okay, sweet.
And it pressed it. Pulls it right off. I've tried to take it off with like some 2-jaw pullers before, and I've broke this. And then you end up having to buy a new pulley. Alright, so the kit we got from our parts store to take this off, we're missing the installer doohickey with a little bearing. So, what we are going to do is you can find a bolt that has the same thread pitch as the internal right here. You can see that guy threads in there nice and easy. Nice and easy. You take your bolt, find yourself a nut that fits that long bolt. Get that threaded up on there. Find a socket. A socket that'll fit right on the top of this guy right here. Just like that. That's what we're going to do. This guy goes through it, and we got to get a washer also. I had one sitting here. There it is. I just like to put a little washer on there. He goes through so, and then we'll thread that all together. And we'll just,
Shaft
yep,
there.
yep. Just making sure that we are in as far as we'd like. Yep, that's bottomed out right there. Size it fits here. Okay. We're gonna hold the top. We'll tighten the bottom. Yep, there we are. Now we're ready to reinstall this on the vehicle. And put our hose back on here. Should be right about there.
Clamp back on.
Hey! Alright. We'll weasel our new pump up. There it is.
Good to have a
We've
third
got hold
hand.
of it.
Back side of the pump. Remember, we have that little Little reservoir hose here. Kind of a tough angle.
Hopefully that's getting it. I can tell. You get on?
Yep.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to start with my top bolt here.
Through the
You
wheel.
can shine up on the top there. You can kind of see it. So we got this, and we're just going to put it down into the fitting hole here. And just snug it up. You know you're tight when your line won't want to move around on you, so. There we go. And you feed the serpentine belt back around. There's another spring clamp back here. And we're just going to move that back up. There we go. It just slides right up on there. You don't have to reuse these. You can use a nice hose clamp if you'd like. See how loose that is? Right there. Much tighter. I'm gonna fill it up now. See what happens. You want to fill your reservoir up, start it, then shut it off, check your fluid again, keep your fluid full, and then once it seems like it's full, the pumps might be a little noisy for a little bit here, and then we're going to turn the wheels from side to side, not without hitting the stops. You just kind of go a little bit one way, come back, go the other way. And it's going to help push all that air out of the system. So we can see kind of how it's a little bit foamy in there. We're waiting for the foam to go down a little bit. So once that gets down, it's doing really good now. It was really foamy here a second ago. So we're going to start it up, go side to side, and see if we can bleed a little more air out of it. Then once we get it done, we'll just let it run at idle, fast idle, and sit here and work itself over. But there's no bubbles now, and we'll fire it up here. Thanks for watching.